All right, so skipping past all the obvious stuff of looking like you take care of yourself, which you should. It's very attractive when a woman can notice you take care of yourself. We're going straight into one, which is limiting beliefs. You believe there's a certain way you have to go about things. Like some people when they approach, they always have to leave a compliment or they have to do this. There's no way you have to be, there's no person you have to be other than one step above your authentic self. And it's just that simple. There's no type of way you have to speak. There's no amount of time you need. You're over here talking to some girl, for example, for weeks on end, thinking you have to do this and do that, etc., doing this dynamic of push and pull. Meanwhile, if you just believed, if you just understood to break out of your patterns, to read the room, and just go, just understand that maybe I can have what I want this week, it would happen. And it probably won't, because you have this weird belief in your head that you have to have this certain amount of time before you can put someone in bed, or you have to have this certain amount of time before you can text back, or etc. Like, come on. We're not in high school. There should be no limiting belief. There should be no one extra you're trying to be. There should be no special way you're trying to speak other than confident. You have to believe that who you are is okay. As long as you're taking care of yourself, you have to believe that who you are is okay. And of course, just step it up a little bit. One step above your authentic self. Keep that with you today, please. One step above your authentic self. Number 2. In your eyes, you have to understand and know that you're the shit. When she looks at you, when you look at her, when she looks back, when she looks at herself in your eyes, she should see someone that understands that he's an event. That's something I used to tell myself all the time. I'm an event. You have to tell yourself, even if you have to write it down right now, actually. Paper right now, actionable step, write it down. I'm an event, and understand what that means. That means that when someone's looking at me, I'm not there to provide them a good time. I'm a good time. Imagine if you have that aura on you. I'm a good time. I'm fun. I'm this. I'm that. When someone can feel that on you, the amount of confidence that echoes back at them, the amount of confidence they see in your eyes, it's addicting you. It's mysterious even. They want to understand, what is this they're feeling? Why are you so confident? What's so fun about you? They should feel that. It's almost as if it's the same aura you see on successful people. You ever see a man who's doing really well in life? Maybe he's driving around nice, etc. When you look at him, you definitely see a man who feels like he is the event. And there's all these little things and advertisements he puts around himself, like the car, etc., that show he's an event. But even if those things were not around him, if he came into Walmart one day and the same clothes as you and I, you would see it in his eyes, because he knows he's the shit. He understands he's the shit. So you feel he's the shit. You should be the same way. And there's this popular saying, like, fake it to make it. But at the end of the day, there has to be some degree of works to go along with your faith. You have to go along with your beliefs. You can't just sit here and say you're the shit if you don't do anything. Because keep in mind, it's the same as when someone works out and you start to notice their muscle, or you just notice like they're just a bit different, or they're a bit more disciplined. You kind of feel it sometimes on a friend when they get into working out. It's the same case with anything else. When someone practices meditation, when they practice journaling, when they practice working out, when they practice semen retention, all these things are felt, right? Since all these things can be felt, whether you know it or not, when you say you're the shit to yourself, when you say you're an event, when it's visible in your eyes, it will be felt when your actions match. So please commit to these actions. Improve properly. Number 3, visualize properly. A lot of people, when they go about approaching, or when they go about anything in life, they don't realize it, but what you're visualizing when you approach this girl, and you can think of it now, is you're thinking about like how the conversation's gonna go. You're thinking about what you're gonna say. Keep in mind, you should have a plan, because that's just, once you have a plan, Once it goes off, you're just not gonna know what to say. But you cannot visualize the struggle. When you ask athletes or etc. what they think about before they have a match or before they do a PR, what are they doing in the gym? They're not thinking about sitting here like maybe, but what they're mostly thinking about is, I just hope the foot goes up. I hope the weight goes up. I hope I win this match. I hope I win this race. You have to visualize the success. Visualization is real and it's very strong. If you're visualizing the struggle, that's what you'll get. You'll get a struggle. If you're talking to a girl and you visualize how it's gonna go, this could go this way, this not, you're just negative, sort of adding this negative energy to your painting in your head. You're sort of not fully in the idea that you could win. You will lose most likely. Just the case. You should visualize her smiling. You should visualize her giving you her number. When we're in the gym, we're about to PR, we're visualizing pushing that shit for the final push, being completely drained, and letting out a yell if anything, because of how fucking happy and how proud you feel that you were able to lift that shit. It's the same with everything else. When you go to an interview, you visualize, hopefully, getting the job, and not how the interview is actually going to go. Because what are you doing? It's an interview. They all go the same. Number 4. When you talk to someone, right? Even when we'll go past approaching. We'll say you're in a relationship and you're really trying to get towards that base. Or say you're talking to a girl, you're really trying to get towards that base. Those next step, elevating, etc. Never talk to them with this idea that you're trying to impress them. You should never think about impressing someone. Just like how you should never tell a joke and think about them laughing. I guess that goes a part of visualization, I guess. But you have to go with the idea that you're trying to impress yourself. More than anything, with all of this, with everything we do, with all this whole spectrum of self-improvement, we're trying to impress ourselves. It doesn't change just because you met some girl. It won't change when you guys don't talk anymore. It won't change when you talk to a nice girl. You're only there to impress yourself. You're not there talking to her to get some type of result from it, get a number, or even etc. Sometimes I used to approach and it would go so well and I still wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't ask for a number, I wouldn't do anything. Why? Because I impressed myself already. I did enough. I don't actually want your number. I was just there to just have a cool moment. I complimented you, or I had this whole great conversation added to your day simply because I knew that I would think it's cool. I'm doing handstands in the middle of the gym, not to get some girl's attention, not to get some guy's attention, simply because I think it's cool as F and I want to impress myself. When people feel that, when they feel like you're there for yourself, they want to be there for you too, in a sense. And that's a very healthy mindset to have. One, because it increases your self-respect for yourself. Because you're not just there just trying to get something from them. You're actually understanding that I want to get things out of this too. Too many people walk around engaged in these situations, and we all have a relationship with exchange with everyone, right? When you're with a girl, sometimes, the exchange would be, your time and attention. A lot of things nowadays, your time and attention, your money. But the exchange should be, from this point forward, you want to respect yourself. No matter what, you want to respect everything that you're doing. And you want her in exchange back for this. Of course, time and attention, but she should also understand that you don't give a damn about how this thing goes as long as you are impressing yourself. That's why at the end of every video I say, impress yourself. That's what this means, because it's sort of like a mantra to myself that I'm trying to impress myself. No matter how many videos I make, etc., or well it does or not, I just want to impress myself. No matter how many people I talk to, or etc., I just want to impress myself. It's just that simple. There's never a pressure that I'm adding on to them and this lust or urge, because I'm there for myself. So keep that in mind and really carry that with you. Say that to yourself even. There's already two things that you definitely should say to yourself. You're an event, for one. Understand your value. Understand that if you're doing all these things, you're a fucking phenomenal human being. You should feel that way. And the second one is to impress yourself. Don't forget that you're doing this for your enjoyment as well, not just theirs. Lastly, along the way through all these things, you have to understand that you should not rush. There's no rush at all. For people like us that are actually improving, right? People like me and you, it will come, trust me. I know it doesn't feel like it'll come. I know it feels like you keep running into the wrong girls. I know it feels like you're just unnoticed in a sense. But don't rush. Don't rush into anything you'll regret. Because it will come. And when it comes, you'll actually be ready. Some things are not there with you yet because you're not ready. And some things are not there with you yet because little do you know they're not actually what you need right now in order to turn you from your path. So don't rush anything. Trust and believe that if you're doing these things in a natural way where, keep on, if you're trying to impress yourself, it's every moment in the day too. There's no need to rush. I'm going to go to the gym later. There's some girl that looks good there. I'm going to talk to her. Maybe I'm not going to start out right away complimenting her, but I'm going to talk to her. I'm just going to impress myself. Okay, what can I do today to be generally cool to myself? All right, what can I do in this moment? I could say this joke. I could lift this weight. I could do this thing. When you're living life that way, people notice, people gather around you, and you won't be mad with the results. I could just say that. So go out and impress yourself. That's the video.